Greetings and welcome to St. Augustine, Florida for a Division II men's lacrosse matchup between the 5-1 Lynn University and 8-1 the Flagler College Saints. I am Ray Carnicelli on the call today. Coach Brian Duncan for the Flagler Saints and Coach Mark Miller for Lynn have greetings. Coaches are meeting at the midfield line. Referees are giving their final instructions and trying to beat the weather here on a cloudy overcast. There is some weather in the forecast, but keep our fingers crossed that it holds off. Today could be a goalie battle. You've got Hunter Klosterman in goal for Lynn, coming in at a 61% save percentage, less than 9 goals against per game. Josh Stevens in goal, 49%, 9.73 goals against average. Out there for the face-off, it's Cameron Santos, 57% for Lynn University in blue, and Matt Matrega, 27 in white. And we are underway. Matrega comes up with the initial ground ball. Face-off win for Matt Matrega into the offensive end to Trace McDonald. They are not afraid to push it early in a possession. Luke Burton behind the cage, right-handed cradle. Joined by Colton Reynolds, Douglas, and Jack Pilla. Pilla and Reynolds. Colton Reynolds with the short stick, carries behind, over to Burton, and sails it away. So an early unforced turnover by Luke Burton, and Flagler settles back into their very aggressive ride. Klosterman to the near side. Oh, takeaway check by McDonald. Comes up with an unsettled situation. What a ride. McDonald right-handed feed into the stick of the defender. Ball is loose. Nyberg comes up with the ground ball. Heavy checks. Back up top to Reynolds. Across to Pilla. Over to Douglas. Talked before the game about Flagler's ability and aggressiveness in the ride. Tyler Douglas comes into the game with 11 goals and 3 assists. Back to the quarterback, Trace McDonald. Right-handed cradle, around the right goal line, feeds to the crease. Ball's on the ground. Not sure Reynolds was ready for that one. Now the lefty Nyberg working off of that screen. Earns the short stick matchup. Looks back at the shot clock, which is at 30. He's under pressure. Pushes left goal line. Back to Colton. Penetration shot. Stick side. Score! Trace McDonald. Unassisted. A little bit of penetration. Not a lot of pace, but a lot of accuracy. And Trace McDonald puts Flagler up 1-0. Extended possession on the ride back by McDonald. He earns the possession back and pays it off. Santos and Matrega back out there for the face-off. Matrega took care of business on his own on that first one. Gordon Ogden on the near side. Santos slipped. There was no push there. Matrega comes up with it, runs away from trouble. Got to watch this double team out top. Heavy pressure on Matrega and just speeds away from it. Rolls back. Good adjacent help. Ian Plott with a nice job showing. Matrega ran out of trouble. Another possession for the number 10 ranked Flagler Saints. Griffin Moore out of the substitution area. Drawing heavy pressure, working that two-man game. Back to Plott. They've got a little break coming out of the midfield line. It's their cheetah call. We see it coming. Dylan Wilson. Shot, bounce shot, save. Great shot and a great save by Klosterman, because that was a great look from inside of 10 yards. Backed up by Ian Plott. Trying to win one at the midfield line in the substitution game. Flagler has the backup and has the possession. Moore and Howard. Howard down the right alley. Back to McDonald, behind the cage. Head always up, bounces it up top. Nyberg, lefty stinger shot, score! Nyberg from McDonald. Great ball movement, early offense, and Nyberg, that goal was a result of him making that cut, locked and loaded. He was in position to free those hands up, and shooting accurately with pace on the run is what Ben Nyberg does. That's his 16th goal on the season for Ben Nyberg, and Flagler's up 2-0. Winarski on the near side for Flagler and White. Willie Bateman on the far side. Matrega taking the face-off. Jackson Cutter, two-way player in blue on the near side. That looked like a push, and the referees agree. Willie Bateman looking for the quick restart. Not so quick. Bateman under some pressure now. Dangerous swim move, back to the middle. Heavy pressure. Just a little disorganization on that substitution. They left Bateman high and dry, and here's what Flagler does, riding it back. Oh, nice push forward. Douglas had a chance at it, couldn't come up with it. Nice ground ball work by Sagatti. Big hit, big legal hit. Ball flies out of bounds. So that's a turnover for Flagler, caused by 28 in blue. Jackson Cutter with the body check earns that turnover, and first time in the offensive end for the Lynn offense. Hoskins on the switch off. Overplaying his right hand, working it back behind. There's Rennie. Up top. One more pass. Sweeping across the left side. That's McKinley. Under heavy pressure. Back to Cutter. Lynn surveying the field. Caleri. Shot, high bounce shot over the cage. Decent look at the cage by Jackson Cutter. Off the mark. 38 on the shot clock. Hoskins brings it in. Pressure. It's going to stay with the backup for Lynn. Connor Houston gets through the screen. Rolls it back. That's Hoskins trying to get around the top side. Back underneath. Backside feed. Intercepted. That's a caused turnover and an interception by Grusholt. And Flagler's going the other way. Scheckenbach upfield. Into the offensive end comes Flagler. Slow break. Bounce pass over to to Douglas. Back to Nyberg. Good team defense for the Saints. Sticks in the lanes. Grusholt picks it off, and Douglas back with it. Ball is down. There's that heavy pressure on the ride. They've got plenty of time to get it across. They still have 14 seconds. Long looping pass up towards the midfield line. It's controlled by Trost, and now it's a turnover, so another successful ride, directing traffic. Nyberg. Slow break. By slow break, we just mean it's even strength. No advantage in the head count. Got a flag down. 7 defenders in blue plus the goalie. That's not allowed, so that's a delayed offsides call. Reynolds is going to have a run at the short stick. Look for early help on the shorty. Back up top. And there's the pressure. Ball is loose. Extra man opportunity for the Flagler Saints on that offsides. So the first look at the power play, the man-up unit for Flagler. Trace McDonald will run the show from the goalie's top center. Bo Howard will pick it up. Number 16 in white. Referee signals. Starting out open with Nyberg. Back to Howard. Across to McDonald. McDonald draws the defense out. Rotates, cuts down through. A little bit of a wheel. There's Howard. Shot off the post. They will get the shot clock reset. 6 seconds in the penalty, so by the time the defender gets down there, they do have a man-up look. McDonald, Douglas, shot, save! Klosterman with the save. The rebound is loose. Klosterman out of the cage. Burton, heavy pressure. Ball is down. Now Lynn comes up with it. Back to Klosterman. Great save by Klosterman. Couple of good looks in the power play, but Lynn holds. Now they're back on offense. Verratti comes out, sets the offense. Joined by Leone. Waiting for help from Riley Knox. Knox steps on. So Dom Verratti races down the right alley, bounces it back to Leone. Looking behind to Houston, and it's dropped and picked off, so turnover. Gruschel with that turnover, and here comes Hoosier. Oh, nice job, nice awareness by Hoosier to find Jack Pilla. Pilla racing, dodges that trail check, a little bit of unsettled. One more pass, into trouble. Oh, good handle. Give a lot of credit to Tommy Leonard to run away from that check. And Flagler has possession, 6:47 to go in the quarter, leading 2-0. Jack Pilla with Douglas to his right, joined on the midfield by Colton Reynolds. Here comes Douglas on the shorty down the right alley, angling into the goal line behind the McDonald. Nyberg and Pilla both have poles. Early look for help. Rolls back. Got to watch that free hand. Nice penetration. Pilla shot, save! Klosterman bats away the rebound as well. Athletic save by Hunter Klosterman. We see why he's at 61%, allowing less than 9 goals a game. Athletic with great technique. And into the offensive end comes Lynn. Good job by Reynolds to stand him up. They've got a man free, breaking free. Good recognition. Gruschel just filled in that lane at the last moment because there was a man breaking free. Dom Verratti. Verratti down that left alley. Skip pass across the formation. Caleri. Save and the shot clock reset. So aggressive passing. Nick Caleri got free, but an even better save by Josh Stevens. And that's a goal. Jackson Cutter with his 10th goal of the season. Lynn is on the board with 5:17 to go. Good off-ball movement. Jackson Cutter is free in front, finds the back of the net, past Stevens. Rain is starting to fall here in St. Augustine. Good power play off of the face-off by Matrega to just power his opponent, get some separation, and pick that ball up. So Nyberg controls. Approaching the 5-minute mark of quarter number 1. Luke Burton out top. Got help from Griffin Moore and Dylan Wilson. Joined by Bo Howard. Griffin Moore likes this short stick matchup. He is speedy down that left alley. Gets a half a stack. Back up to Wilson. Couldn't control it. 50-50 ground ball. And nice play to come in and help out. Geis comes up with that ground ball. Trying to get the back cut. Going heavy. Bo Howard putting some pressure on. Shutting off adjacent. There's the timeout. Aggressive timeout, great timeout called by Lynn. Flagler was shutting off adjacent and going heavy at that pole. Timeout will let Lynn reset with 4:27 to go. Our score is Flagler 2, Lynn 0. Check that score. Flagler 2, Lynn 1. Coming out of that timeout, our score is Flagler 2, Lynn 1. Ball in possession of Lynn University. Brian Hoskins. McKinley working it behind, tiptoeing the end line. Way to keep it in by Caleri. Heavy pressure overplaying Hoskins' right hand. Now there's a skip pass up top. There's a shot. Side of the net. Boy, that had some pace on it. McKinley's got a little bit of a rocket. Oh, risky pass. Nice job by McKinley to pick it off. Unsettled situation. There's a man in front. Flagler recognizes it and picks it up. Ill-advised pass in the clearing game. And Lynn gets an extended possession. Down that right alley. Looking. Back to X. Rennie. Feet on the crease. Save. Stevens closes the door. Off to the races. That's Hoosier. Jacob Hoosier. Back up top. McDonald to Nyberg. Working it back around to Burton. There's Douglas. Douglas off the screen. Well handled by Lynn. Reynolds races into the offensive end. Going to be joined by Jack Pilla. So Flagler on that substitution hung up a couple of offensive middies for Lynn. So see if they try to take advantage of this matchup. Is Pilla is covered by McKinley. Pilla gets a half a step. Rolls back. There's a switch. Shot, score! Little discombobulated on the defense, and an unassisted goal by Jack Pilla. He had McKinley, the offensive midi, tied up on defense. They switched off, and in the confusion of the switch off, Pilla did a nice job of splitting back to his left and getting that third goal of the game for Flagler. They lead 3-1 with 2:36 to go. Nice job so far today by Matrega and the wing play at the faceoff spot. That's Willie Bateman and Gordon Ogden. Joining Santos out on the faceoff is Trost, Victor Trost. Still keeping an eye on the weather. A little bit of a drizzle. It seems like the electricity's keeping away. And Ogden comes up with the ground ball. Under heavy pressure. See if he gets a touch in. Nope. Bateman's there to help him out. Bo Howard with a head of steam out of the substitution area to McDonald. Back to Nyberg. Referee setting a pick. 2 more passes, and it's in the cross of Griffin Moore, who did a nice job going up and handling that one. Wilson. A lot of rapid ball movement, looking for the matchup. Two-man game up top. Moore, left-handed shot, score! He stings the far corner. Griffin Moore, left alley dodge, left-handed, shoots it away from the right-hander and stings the corner. Early offense for Flagler gives them a 4-1 lead. Just precision shooting by Griffin Moore. Just taking advantage of those short stick matchups. You got two short sticks out there. Flagler is so deep, and they've got 6 weapons at a time on offense. There's no easy man to cover, and certainly Griffin Moore puts a short stick defender on his heels and finds the back of the net. Okay, that's going to be a holding call, a little bit of a leg lock against Flagler, so face-off win for McKay. And Lynn is back in business. Verratti, joined by Leone and Riley Knox. Dom Verratti. High sweep across the restraining line. Back to Knox. Back to Verratti. There's a pass down low, and it's going to skip out of bounds. Trying these skip passes, high risk, high reward. That one goes out of bounds, and Flagler has the ball with a 4-1 lead, 1:24 to go in quarter number 1. Across the midfield line, into the offensive end, over to McDonald. Great clear. 67 seconds on the quarter, 56 in the shot clock possession. Nyberg. Flagler, sounds like they're going to call for the last shot. Could be a bluff. There's McDonald. Back to Howard. Across to Griffin Moore. This is a similar matchup down that left alley. See if they come a little earlier. They do, which frees up Wilson. Across to McDonald. 29 on the shot clock. McDonald sweeps across. Back to Moore. Head up. There's Wilson. Skips it down low. McDonald tries for the near side, and it's a save. Klosterman went down and got that, and Klosterman chases it and gets back up. Huge opportunity. There's still 18 seconds, plenty of time to get the clear and get some offense going. Nice clear. Bershevsky. There's a skip to the crease. Ball is down. As time expires, decent look over the cage. They were looking for Rennie, couldn't connect, and we are at the end of 1 quarter of play from St. Augustine, Florida. Our score is Flagler 4, Lynn 1. Back to St. Augustine, Florida. Quick look at the stats after 1 quarter of play. The faceoffs, which was a key to the game for Flagler, they've won 5 of 6. Klosterman in goal for Lynn has 4 saves. Josh Stevens has 2, so both goalies doing their job. Flagler leads 4-1. Flagler's got that 11-7 ground ball favor and out shooting Lynn 9-6. McKay pushes it forward for Lynn into the offensive end. Goes to find the point man, and drifting towards the goal, the ball went out of bounds, and that's that trickiness of the face-off stats. It's a Flagler win, or excuse me, a Lynn win, but Flagler has the ball. Back up top to Reynolds. So we see Flagler once again trying to keep that face-off man and the wing players back out there. There's a shot just off the mark. Burton brings it in over to Nyberg, up to McDonald, to Pilla, and there is the horn signifying a weather delay. So we are in a weather delay, indefinite. You can follow me on X at Lax904, and I will provide any updates that I hear of. It's Ray Carnicelli at Lax904. So we're going to